My name is Avery Lawson, and on the morning of my wedding, my father called me at 6:17 a.m. to ask if I could move my ceremony. Not because someone had died, not because the church had burned down, not because there was a storm coming through Madison County. He wanted me to move my wedding because my older sister, Lena, had decided to host her engagement party at the family farm that same afternoon. And according to my father, Lena needed the family more than I did. He said it like it was a law of nature. "Avery, you've always been the strong one. You'll understand." I stood in the bridal suite with one sleeve of my dress hanging off my shoulder, my hair half pinned, my phone pressed to my ear, and for a moment I could not even breathe. Behind me, my maid of honor was quiet. My fiancé, Daniel, was in another room with his tie still undone, waiting to marry me. And my father, the man whose mortgage I had been helping pay for 7 years, was asking me to shrink the one day I had finally allowed myself to be celebrated. I asked him one question. "Dad, are you coming to my wedding?" There was a pause. Then he sighed like I was making life difficult. "Your mother and I will try to stop by for the reception, but Lena is fragile right now. She needs support. You know how she gets when she feels abandoned." I looked down at my hand. My grandmother's little pearl ring was on my finger, the only thing from the farm I had asked to carry into my marriage. For 7 years, I had sent money home on the 12th of every month. Mortgage support, insurance, equipment interest, health costs, my sister's truck insurance, my sister's phone bill, emergency farm cash, $184,000, quietly moved from my military pay and deployment bonuses into a family that still called me selfish when I asked them to sit in a pew for 23 minutes. I said, "I understand." My father sounded relieved. "Good girl." Then I hung up. Break time. That was the last morning my family ever received money from me. Not one more automatic payment. Not one more emergency transfer. Not one more quiet sacrifice wrapped in the word duty. At exactly 12:03 p.m., while my father was raising a toast at Lena's engagement party, the first payment failed. By 2:40 p.m., the caterer had stopped serving dessert because my sister's fiancé's card declined. By 3:15 p.m., the farm insurance office had called twice. By 4:02 p.m., my father was standing on the back porch holding a notice from the lender, asking why the mortgage draft looked different. And by the time Daniel and I walked back down the aisle as husband and wife, my phone had 41 missed calls from the people who had chosen someone else's party over my wedding. But this story did not begin on my wedding day. It began in a kitchen that smelled like coffee, hay dust, and lemon verbena. It began with my grandmother. Her name was Evelyn May Lawson, and she was the only person in my family who never confused quiet with available. She ran the Lawson farm before my father did. She knew every fence line, every tax notice, every acre that flooded first, every tractor that needed coaxing before winter. When I was little, I used to sit at her kitchen table while she wrote numbers in blue ink in a green ledger. She never let a bill surprise her. She said a person could love family and still count the cost. At 12, I asked her if counting made love smaller. She looked at me over her glasses and said, "No, baby. Counting keeps love from becoming a cage." I did not understand that then. I was the second daughter. Lena was the first. And in our house, that meant her feelings had gravity. If Lena cried, the whole room moved toward her. If I cried, someone handed me a towel and told me to help. My mother's favorite sentence was, "Lena feels things deeply. Avery handles things." So Lena got protection, and I got responsibility. When Grandma Evelyn died, my father inherited the farm, but not her discipline. He loved the stories, the trees, the land, the word legacy, but he could not manage the numbers. I was an Air Force logistics officer by then. Systems were my job. When Dad called 3 months after the funeral and said the farm was short, I helped. 1 month became 7 years. Mortgage support, insurance, equipment interest, health costs, Lena's truck, Lena's phone, emergency cash. Every month, on the 12th, my bank account sent my loyalty home. Break time. My family did not call it support. Break time. My family did not call it support. That would have required them to admit they were being supported. They called it helping out. They called it temporary. They called it just until things settle. When Daniel came into my life, he noticed the pattern before I was ready to name it. Daniel Cross was a CPA, quiet, kind, and inconveniently good with spreadsheets. We met at a volunteer tax clinic near base. I was helping an elderly veteran find transportation documents, and Daniel was explaining deductions with the patience of a kindergarten teacher. On our third date, he asked me what made me tired. Not what I did for work. Not where I saw myself in 5 years. What made me tired? I almost laughed because the answer felt too big. Instead, I said, being dependable. He did not make a joke. He just nodded like he understood. By the time we got engaged, Daniel had seen enough of my family to know that I loved them, and that they had learned to spend that love like money they never planned to repay. The first time he looked at my recurring transfers, he did not get angry. He got very still. "Avery," he said, "do they know the total?" I shrugged. "They know I help." "No," he said gently. "Do they know the total?" I did not answer. So he built a spreadsheet. Not because he wanted to shame me, because he knew numbers had been used against me by absence. Nobody could see what nobody counted. He pulled 7 years of transfers, drafts, insurance confirmations, emergency payments, and card records. By the time he finished, the total sat at the bottom of the sheet like a verdict: $184,260. I stared at it until the numbers blurred. Daniel sat beside me and did not touch my hand until I reached for his first. "That's not just helping," he said. I whispered, "It's my family." He said, "Family should know when they are standing on your back." I defended them because that is what trained daughters do. They've had a hard time. So have you. Lena's divorce was awful. You deployed twice. Dad's proud of the farm. You're funding the farm. My mother worries. You're absorbing the worry. I hated him a little in that moment for being right. Not because he was cruel, because he was finally saying out loud what I had spent years making small. I was 34 years old, an officer trusted to move millions of dollars of equipment across continents, and I still felt guilty for asking my family to notice me. Break time. Daniel proposed in the quietest way possible. No crowd, no camera, just my apartment kitchen, a burned pot of soup, and a man who said, "I don't want you because you carry everything. I want to carry things with you." I chose October 12th for our wedding because it was simple and beautiful. I sent save the date 6 months early. My mother cried and promised she would come. My father said he would not miss it. For a few months, I let myself believe them. Then, 3 weeks before the wedding, Lena announced her engagement. Then 3 weeks before the wedding, Lena announced her engagement to a man named Cole Brenner. Cole sold farm equipment and wore sunglasses on top of his head indoors. He called my father Sir too loudly and talked about building a future before he had paid off his last truck. I did not dislike him. I just did not trust his volume. Lena called me on a Tuesday afternoon. "I wanted you to hear it from me," she said, which in my family usually meant something had already been decided without me. "Cole and I are having our engagement party at the farm." "That's nice," I said. "When?" She exhaled. "October 12th. I thought I misheard her. "My wedding day?" "It's not like the same time," she said quickly. "Yours is in the afternoon, right?" "My ceremony is at 2. Ours is at 4. People can do both if they want." "The farm is 40 minutes from the chapel." "Well, the farm is family property, Avery." I sat down. I remember the chair making a small scraping sound against the floor. "Lena, I sent my date 6 months ago. And I'm sorry, but Cole's parents can only come that weekend, and Daddy already said the farm looks beautiful in October. Besides, you're doing a small thing. Mine is more like a family announcement. My wedding is not a small thing." She went quiet for half a second. Then her voice changed. There it was, the old softness with the blade underneath. "I knew you'd make this about competition." I closed my eyes. "It's my wedding. And it's my engagement. You're already married to your job half the time." The sentence landed where she intended. I had missed holidays because I was deployed. I had missed birthdays because flights changed. I had spent Christmas eating microwaved food in a temporary housing unit while my family opened gifts on video, and my mother said, "At least you're used to being alone." I said, "Please pick another day." Lena said, "You're strong. You'll be fine." Then she hung up. Break time. The next day, my mother called. Not to apologize, but to manage me. She said Lena was sensitive. If they asked her to move the party, Lena would feel rejected. When I asked what I was supposed to feel, my mother said, "You won't feel rejected the same way." That sentence hurt worse than shouting. My pain had always been convenient because it did not disturb the room. That evening, my father called with a plan. Maybe I could take pictures early. Maybe I could move my reception to brunch. Maybe I could make it to the farm after all. I asked, "Dad, will you walk me down the aisle?" He said, "Let's see how the day works out." Something inside me stopped begging. After we hung up, I sat at the kitchen table with my grandmother's old ledger in front of me. After we hung up, I sat at the kitchen table with my grandmother's old ledger in front of me. I kept it in a drawer, wrapped in a tea towel. Most pages were filled with her neat blue numbers. Near the back, between a feed receipt and a pressed verbena leaf, she had written one sentence: "Do not confuse being useful with being loved." I read it 3 times. Then I called Daniel. Break time. He came over with his laptop and 2 coffees. I told him everything. Not in the calm way I usually summarized family disappointment. I told him the ugly parts. How my mother had already called 3 aunts to explain that Lena needed support. How my cousin Beth texted me privately saying she wanted to come to my wedding, but her mother said the family should circle around Lena. How my father had suggested moving my reception like it was a dentist appointment. How nobody had asked whether I would be hurt. When I finished, Daniel did not say what I expected. He did not say, "Forget them." He did not say, "They're terrible." He said, "What do you want to do?" That question terrified me, because when you are raised to be the dependable one, wanting feels dangerous. Wanting means someone can call you selfish. Wanting means someone can leave. I said, "I want to stop paying for a life where I'm not allowed to matter." Daniel nodded. "Then let's make sure you do it cleanly." That was why I called Elise Grant. Elise was a civilian attorney Daniel knew through a veterans financial clinic. She specialized in family property, co-sign obligations, and boundary cases that did not look dramatic until you followed the money. She reviewed everything: the insurance policies, the recurring transfers, the farm mortgage documents, the equipment note, the health supplement payments, the auto insurance, the phone plan, the quarterly emergency deposits. Then she looked at me over the top of her glasses and said, "Captain Lawson, you have not been helping. You have been operating an unofficial family subsidy system." I laughed because the phrase sounded too formal for the ache in my chest. She did not laugh. "You are not obligated to continue voluntary payments. You are named on the insurance policy, so we need to end that properly. You are a co-signer on one farm-related credit line, so we need written notice. The rest can be stopped with documentation." I swallowed. "What happens when the payments stop?" Elise folded her hands. "Reality happens." Reality. I had spent 7 years protecting my family from it. Elise helped me draft letters that were clear, legal, and unemotional. As of September 28th, all voluntary financial support would end. As of October 12th, my automatic transfers would no longer be active. Any future farm or personal expenses would have to be handled by the responsible account holders. I read the letter 10 times before signing. My hand shook. Daniel put his palm on the table beside mine and said, "You're allowed to stop." I whispered, "They'll hate me." He said, "They already punish you for helping. At least this way you get your life back." On September 28th, I canceled 7 automatic payments. On September 28th, I canceled 7 automatic payments. The bank app asked me if I was sure. 7 times, I pressed confirm. Each confirmation felt like cutting a rope I had tied around my own ribs. Mortgage support, insurance drafts, Lena's truck insurance, Lena's phone, equipment interest, health reimbursement, emergency farm deposits, all canceled. Then I sent the letters. My father called 9 minutes after the email landed. I let it ring. My mother called. Lena texted, "What is this supposed to mean?" I did not answer right away. Then my father left a voicemail. "Avery, this is not the time for dramatics. Call me." I played it twice. Not because I needed to hear it. Because I wanted to remember the exact tone of a man who had been taking my money for 7 years and still believed my boundaries were theatrics. That night, I called him back. He answered immediately. "What in God's name are you doing?" "I'm ending the payments I've been making." "You can't just do that." "They were voluntary." "We depend on that money." "I know." Silence. The kind that follows when truth steps into a room uninvited. He lowered his voice. Avery, this is about the party, isn't it? This is about 7 years. Don't be petty. Dad, I paid over $184,000 into that farm and this family. I asked you to come to my wedding. You asked me to reschedule. He breathed hard through his nose. You never said you wanted gratitude. I wanted respect. You always have to make everything military with you. Reports, numbers, chain of command. No, I said. I made it numbers because feelings never counted. My mother got on the line. Avery, please, your father's blood pressure. No, Mom. She went quiet. I had never interrupted that way before. I said, I am not responsible for Dad's blood pressure, Lena's feelings, the farm mortgage, the insurance, the truck, the phone, or the party you chose over my wedding. Avery, she whispered, like I had become someone frightening. I said, I'm getting married on October 12th at 2 o'clock. I hope you come, but the payments are over. Then I hung up. I cried after, not because I regretted it, because freedom can feel like grief when the cage was built by people you love. Break time. The week before my wedding, my family turned my boundaries into a scandal. My aunt called me cold. Lena posted a picture of the farm with the caption, "Some people forget where they came from." I nearly answered, "Some people forget who paid the property insurance." Daniel stopped me. So I focused on the wedding, a small chapel, 35 guests, wildflowers, lemon verbena in the candles, 2 front row seats saved for parents who had already chosen another party. On October 12th, the sky was clear. On October 12th, the sky was clear. Daniel sent me a note before the ceremony. Not a long one,